You're tuned into SEC Sunday Night, part of the Chief Sports Network.
Grab a drink and a snack. Let's hit the lights. It's SEC Sunday night. How you doing, everybody? Welcome. It is now finally talking season. We have SEC Media Days on us, and Rob is nowhere to be found. Don't worry, we've got our man Casey Cregan from the Message Board Genius podcast on to help us out. But first, a little business. Oh, Casey, you're on mute still.
Sorry, see? First timer here. SEC Sunday Night presented by Hewitt Domaduros. Live every Sunday night at 8 o'clock on the Chief Sports Network. Hewitt Domaduros is here for you in your time of need. These guys are the best personal injury attorneys around, and we are proud to be presented by them each week.
Thank you, Vanna White. How are you, my friend? Thank you for joining us.
I'm doing great, Craig. Thanks for having me. I guess everyone else said no, so you had to go deep into the bullpen to get the non-SEC guy here on SEC Sunday Night. So happy to be here, of course, to fill in for Rob and be with you. So,
yeah, Casey's a good friend of the show. He was on our previous edition of It Just Means More Football and Coffee. He was my co-host for a while when Rob was on a break. He's also been a guest. He writes for that other school in the upstate. Does a little bit, but does a fantastic job. And he is the producer of the Message Board Genius show. When he hits the button correctly, you can see that almost every Wednesday and Thursday night on your favorite podcast. Always a fantastic listen, and they are great friends of the show. My friend, how was your fourth?
it was great. It was great. Pretty uneventful, but in the South, there's fireworks everywhere. There's firework stands in every neighborhood. I think it was great. So of course my son had a blast because there was literally blasts every which direction. My next door neighbor had them. I mean, he recorded a video of the neighborhood. It was awesome. So hope yours was. It was great. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. See, up in Michigan, we go up north, as we like to call it. We don't have the fancy oceans like you folks do down south. Instead, we have the Great Lakes. And went in Friday, and the water was so cold. And I'm there with my little one, and she's like, "Come on, Daddy, let's keep going. Let's keep going." And it's like I don't want to go any lower because it's just so freaking cold. But it was a phenomenal time.
We had one of those, Craig. When I brought my son to a conference in Columbia, South Carolina, and it was a nice hotel, the Marriott downtown in Columbia, great hotel, and they have an indoor pool. So I was like, regardless, it's going to be 130 degrees outside, but at least the pool will be nice and cool. It was the coldest pool I've ever been in, to the point where my son finally, who will sit in a pool like we did today for about 6 hours, he looked at me, he's like, "Daddy, can we go inside? Because it's just too cold." I didn't go in from waist up. It was unbelievable. But great hotel there in Columbia. They should sponsor your show too.
Oh, good. Yeah, we'll get the name, and we'll get them on once football season goes. Well, let's say we've got a fun action-packed show tonight. SEC Media Days kick off live from Atlanta next week, or I'm sorry, this week. Rob and I have done a good job on Last Word on College Football. We have the biggest questions for each day. So Rob's article came out about 5 o'clock today, so we just shared that out. Really kind of looking at, hey, what are the biggest questions? Not only in terms of roster, but we also may be poking a little bit because, you've got to have a little bit of fun to it. But as we go forward, too, we also have two great guests tonight. Lou Johnson from Last Word on College Football will come in to talk about LSU and their big spending spree in 2025, all the roster management, some of the new personnel. And then we have a special guest, Meemaw, Courtney McKinney from the Message Board Genius show will come and talk about the Tide. I'm sure she'll have some opinions. Hopefully, she'll have also a little bit of fun. But before we get started, let's talk a little bit about the news that matters. As we were out, we've been out for about 2 weeks now. Joe Castiglione announced that he is going to step down as Oklahoma's athletic director this year. And Castellone has been a stalwart for Oklahoma. He's been there 27 years. He's transformed that program, not only in football, but basketball. Casey will know he's done really well in baseball and softball, has made some really good hires. Maybe not so much with Ben Venerable. Sorry, Casey, I know he's your defensive coordinator guy. But Castellone has done a fantastic job in bringing Oklahoma to respectability. And the Athletic posted 3 names to keep an eye on. First is Zach Selman from Mississippi State. He just came over from there. Selman has a deep history. His father and his uncles were All-Americans and played at Oklahoma. Selman also worked under Castiglione from 2015 to 2013. Florida State AD Mike Alford from 2012 to 2017 was there. And then also Texas Tech's Kirby Hocutt got his start there, albeit about 20 years ago. So if I'm Texas Tech and I'm Kirby Hocutt, if I'm not bringing all that money with me, I'm probably not leaving Oklahoma. Tell me a little bit about Oklahoma. What do you think about, Castiglione and what he has done there?
That's the reason that Brent Venables is there, is because of his relationship with Castiglione. So I think that the safety net, that was where I took it when I heard that news immediately, was that safety net for Brent is not necessarily going to be there depending on who they hire. Now, I do think truly that the Zach Selman is the job. It's his job to have if he wants it, just because of that relationship there. I think the family history is there. He's done an all right job. He made a splash hire for Mississippi State baseball. I mean, I guess depending on who you talk to, he's done a really nice job with his football hire as well. We'll see what the results are this year. You don't like it, but because of because who his father-in-law is, but
part of it.
I think that he's how about this? He'll make a splash hire, and he'll take a chance on somebody. So I truly believe that it is Zach Selman's job. I mean, that lineage is hard to top, and if he wants to be there, that job's going to be his.
And it did sound like Castiglione is still going, and I'm probably butchering this for all of our Italian folks out there, so I apologize.
Castiglione.
Castiglione.
In Italian, it would actually probably be the G silent. Castiglione.
Castiglione. I like
and my hand is going like this too while I was doing that, Craig, too.
It's fantastic. I love it. But yeah, I think Selman's there. If I have to take one that could be a flyer, you're looking at someone who's moving. I'm going to look at Chance Miller from Coastal Carolina. Chance has done a good job. He was an associate athletic director at South Carolina. Also been very innovative. Obviously, the baseball team has been very good. Now that is going to be a big jump going from the Fun Belt to the SEC. But again, if you're going to be looking at somebody, you have somebody established. I think we can all agree that Oklahoma maybe needs to zag a little bit. Texas is taking up a lot of the oxygen in the SEC. And I think Chance Miller could be that opportunity to provide somebody different.
I think that's the rub, really. It's Texas, right? That's what they're looking at right now. Not necessarily who Texas's AD is, but look at the hires that they've made and then what they're doing, the success that they've had in the Southeastern Conference. That's what their barometer is. That's what they're excuse me, that's what they're up against. I mean, barometer is the wrong word, but anybody that listens to my show knows that that's all I use is wrong words. But that's their measuring stick.
Their measuring stick. It's like a barometer is a form of a measuring stick, I think.
I'll get there, Craig. I'll get there. But the first word that I throw out there, you guys do last word here. First word that I throw out is always wrong.
Hey, that's okay. That's what we're going to help each other. Before we do talk about SEC Media Days, the Big 12 went to Frisco, Texas, to Jerry Jones's Junior World. Nice little stadium out there, a little 20,000 seat stadium for Big 12 Media Days. A couple of the key talking points that I think really make sense and really hit for the SEC is, first and foremost, Brett Yormark came out. Again, he's one of my favorite athletic directors. He's a guy like Chance Miller. He's willing to punch. He's willing to bob. He's willing to weave. He's willing to do things differently. He announced a WWE partnership, apparently, with the Big 12. So that I think that's interesting. He has a history there. But I think most importantly, we know that the college football playoff is expanding. And he doubled down on his 5+11 model format. Clear opposition. It seems like Tony Petitti and the Big Ten, again, are on an island for themselves. But that 5+11 model is now starting to gain traction with, the Big 12. Obviously, the SEC has been talking about it now for over a month. What is your thoughts on with the ACC? Are they a 5+11, or is it the 4-4-2-2-1-1? I know you're great with numbers and things like that,
Yeah,
so
this
that
math
maybe
stuff, you have lost me already, Craig. I have no idea. I think the total is 74 based on the numbers that you said. I think the ACC would absolutely go 5+11 model. I mean, Jim Phillips is a coattail rider anyway, right? He's going to
Yep.
hop on to whatever is good for what everyone else is doing, it seems. So as long as it makes Clemson and Florida State happy, I guess they'll be all right. But that's the point, I think, too, is that they'll be able to possibly get a second or third team in there, an SMU last year, or throw a Syracuse at that 16 spot or something, or Miami, right? Miami gets that bad loss late in the season, and maybe that didn't eliminate them. So I do think the ACC would probably look at that 5+11 model too. And I mean, the SEC will think about it too if they're going to get 4 automatic bids, aren't they?
Yeah, I struggle with that because I think what you have to do is you have to bet on yourself, and I think that 5+11 model, what that does is it still keeps the sanctity of a conference championship. But I think about for the Big 12 and the ACC, and this is me not poking actually for once, but if you accept that number where we have like all of those AQs, 4 from the Big 10, 4 from the SEC, and then 2 from the Big 12 and 2 from the ACC, if you accept that, you're accepting the fact that you're a
Mediocrity.
second-class citizen and that you're inferior and then you're nothing more.
But if
The
they don't
more
put that in writing, though, if that's not official, if the SEC doesn't get their way and get those 4 AQs and Big Ten then follow suits, if it happens,
Yep.
then it's not. Then they don't necessarily have to believe that narrative. But if it still ends up 4-4, but there's no official decree that says there has to be 4 SEC teams, there has to be 4 Big 12, and then 2 and 2 of whomever else. I mean, you can get Boise State again or somebody else in that too, and then one of those conferences is only getting 1 team in.
right, and of course you got to save a spot for Notre Dame because they're not going to be in a conference, so you always got to give them a little spot. But I think one of those teams that I definitely think will be making a bid either for a conference championship or an at-large is Texas Tech, and it has been absolutely impressive what they have done. Uh, Cody Campbell is a Texas Tech alum. There's a great story a couple weeks ago in Yahoo Sports talked about Cody Campbell was a former Texas Tech player, basically graduated in the early 2000s, was playing for the Indianapolis Colts, basically bet on himself and made his money in the oil business, and now is worth lots and lots of money, and has decided to make Texas Tech really, really good. They are killing it this year in the transfer portal. They're killing it with recruiting. They have eyes now for the class of 2027. Like the number one recruit is now considering Texas Tech. They've done a great job with baseball. I think in total they've talked about Texas Tech has over $250 million in upgrades to their football training facilities, compliments of Campbell. And this year alone, they have spent $55 million in football and softball and basketball and baseball to make their programs there. And we're seeing the House settlement, and there's some things going on with that. But to me, what does all of this money that Campbell has brought to Texas Tech? I think this is great for college football. I don't think this is a detriment. But I had a conversation with some friends this weekend when I was on vacation, and they were talking about how bad the portal is and how bad the spending money is. What say you, Mr. Casey?
I don't mind the portal, and that would probably shock most of your listeners as a Clemson alum and fan, but I don't mind the portal at all. I do like actually that new thing that Pete Nakos put out recently that apparently I forget the name, something Act, Numbers Act or something like that, where they're only going to be able to go once. Like, I think that's good because you got guys like Pavia, who's on his 12th school in 15 years, and the kid from South Carolina that's trying to get the NCAA to approve another year. I mean, it's just there's a lot. That's getting to be too much for my old brain, but I don't mind the transfer portal at all. I think it's actually great for the sport. And again, that comes from a Clemson alum and fan, and obviously notably that Dabo doesn't use it a lot, but he went in this year, got 3 guys that fill holes for him, and hope it works out. But yeah, I love it. I think it's great. I said a whole lot there without saying anything, Craig.
That's okay. And you look at all those dollars coming in too. You get programs like Texas Tech. You get you get the opportunity. You get Ole Miss and the SEC who are now being able to make that splash. So to me, it's going to be interesting. I know there's going to be challenges already to the House settlement. Shocking, whether or not these collectives are actually in fact something good, or maybe maybe they're illegitimate. We're going to save that for another show when that's decided. But let's be honest, the Pandora's box has been opened. These players are getting paid. It is going to be extremely difficult for any judge or for anybody to say, no, you have to stop paying these people, because guess what? It's good, and it's kind of the free market. So,
Well, I mean, that's how Texas Tech got that number one offensive lineman this week. That's how, I mean, they kept the softball pitcher Kennedy.
Yeah, yep.
She's fantastic. They paid her $1 million, and they made it to the College World Series final. Probably should have won it, but anyway, Texas somehow, smoke and mirrors, made it through that tournament. But that's another show. Yeah, I mean, I think it's great for Texas Tech. Why not? Like, this new blood is fantastic. There was when Clemson was going on their run, and this, I'm sorry to bring that up. It's what I know best. But when they were on their run where they were in 6 playoffs, all my friends were like, this is boring because it's Alabama, it's Clemson, it's Ohio State, it's Notre Dame, and then someone that they're going to throw to the wolves. So I understood where they were coming from. Texas Tech, having them in the tournament would be fantastic. Why not? Like, someone new blood's fun, man.
Yeah. No. And speaking of that new blood and all that new money, when we come back from our break, we'll be joined by Lou Johnson from Last Word on College Football to talk a little Tigers. But first, a word from our friends at Hewitt Damadoris.
When playing sports, you want a coach that will fight for you. At Hewitt Damadoris Law Firm, we've got your back. Whether it's personal injury, insurance disputes, negligence, or wrongful death, our team delivers exceptional legal services that makes meaningful difference in the lives of the individuals and families we work for. Visit hdlawsc.com. hdlawsc.com. Hewitt Damadoris, we're on your team.
Oh, man, the building is on fire.
Emergencies and accidents happen. When you're in the middle of a fire or water event, all you want is for things to return to normal as soon as possible. Resto Pros of the Midlands is with you, guiding you through the process and working with you to get your home or office back in working order. They'll answer your questions, discuss procedures, and can act as your advocate when it comes to processing your insurance claim. Resto Pros Midlands SC.com. Open 24/7 when you need them. Quality that is guaranteed.
At TriFit Physical Therapy and Performance, we believe true health and peak performance start with personalized care. Whether you're an athlete recovering from injury or just chasing your next personal best, we're here to guide your journey. With expert coaching, hands-on therapy, and transparent cash-based pricing, you get the care you need without the insurance red tape. One client drove 100 miles just to see us and said it was worth every mile. Contact us at trifitperformance.com or 803-353-5619. TriFit Physical Therapy and Performance, where recovery meets results.
Yo, what's up?
Baby, let's go.
Welcome back to SEC Sunday Night. It is now talking season. I'm joined by my good buddy Casey Cregan from the Message Board Geniuses show. Rob, wherever you are, we're thinking of you, buddy. We hope you enjoy what you're watching.
And we're sorry.
You're doing just fine, my friend. Well, we've got talking season now coming up in Atlanta. The SEC Media Days are coming to the ATL. It's going to be a busy week. I saw that the WWE was going to be there. MLB's All-Star Game was going to be there. Check out the MARTA. It'll get you there. Or if you've taken MARTA, you've already been there. So maybe MARTA will be a future sponsor. When I was at Georgia State, I rode the MARTA almost every day. Anyway, taking a look at SEC Media Days. Throughout the 4 days, on Monday, we'll have LSU, Ole Miss, South Carolina, and Vanderbilt. Tuesday will be plenty of fun. Auburn and Coach Hugh Freeze will be there if we can get him off the golf course. Georgia, Tennessee, and Texas. Wednesday, we'll have Alabama, Florida, Mississippi State, Oklahoma. And then the last day, we've got Arkansas, Kentucky, Missouri, and Texas A&M. Casey, I'm going to have to be honest. You and I have both, with our jobs, been to plenty of conferences. That day 4 sounds kind of like that last day of a conference where it's kind of like everybody's getting out of Dodge or going out and networking, if you will.
Yeah, my plane leaves at 5, so I'm gonna have to leave this session a little early today.
Yep, gonna tap out just a little bit early. But to get started, we're gonna have to do our TriFit guest line. So we'll kick it to Casey before we bring on Lou Johnson from Last Word.
Sure. Each week, guests are brought to you by TriFit Physical Therapy and Performance in Lexington. Mitch, the owner and lead physical therapist at TriFit, really knows what he's doing. He believes real health and peak performance start with personalized care. So whether you're an athlete bouncing back from an injury or just pushing for that next personal best, TriFit's got your back, literally. You get expert coaching, hands-on therapy, and none of the insurance red tape to hold you back. They even had a client drive over 100 miles to see them and said it was worth every mile. Go to tryfitperformance.com. That's tryfitperformance.com to book an appointment. TriFit Physical Therapy and Performance, where recovery meets results.
All right, we will bring in our friend Lou Johnson now from Last Word. We're going to be talking a little LSU Tigers. Oh, my goodness. He's got the Boston Red Sox hat on. Lou, you are ready to poke. My goodness. I absolutely love it. Welcome, my friend. How are you today?
I'm great, man. Thanks for having me on. Been looking forward to this all week.
No problem.
Did he know, Craig? Did he know that the Clemson connection? And now I got a Yankee hat on. He's got the Red Sox thing. Like, we're already enemies, and we haven't even met yet.
We've got Clemson, LSU. We've got Boston, New York. This is beautiful. I don't even have to do anything. I can just go on mute and have you guys discuss the whole time.
And Casey, look, I hate that we're starting off on the wrong foot. I mean, you got the best Twitter account that's out there right now. So I'd like to make a good first impression. I guess it's too late, huh?
No, you're good. You're good by me. You're good by me.
For those of you that are not following Lou, please go to CFB Lou on Twitter or X, whatever we call that. I will tell you, Lou does a fantastic job not only analyzing the LSU Tigers, but Lou, I swear you are one of the most dialed in when it comes to Louisiana recruiting, because you do a fantastic job not only covering the Tigers, but you got where all these kids in LSU are going, whether the Tigers are looking at them or they're going to Ohio State or they're going anywhere else. Tell me, my friend, tell me a little bit about your LSU journey and a little bit about, what drew you into covering the Tigers.
Well, I did go to LSU for undergrad, not a recruiting piece. When I was there, that was in, I guess, the inception of Rivals and Scout, when recruiting was really starting to become a big deal. Yep. And I had never realized, I'm like 19, 20 years old at this point, like how much talent was in Louisiana for such a sparsely populated state. So that kind of just fueled my interest in it. And I've been in love ever since. Now, the LSU connection is, I grew up an LSU fan, but the recruiting part, I grew into that.
Yeah, no, you do a phenomenal job. You got the analytical piece. I swear, once we kick in August, you're going to be breaking down those Tigers. Oh yeah, you do. You go to Tiger Stadium week 1, don't you? To go play Clemson?
We go to the other Death Valley.
Yeah. Do you have an early season preview of what LSU can expect from Casey's Tigers?
Look, man, Clemson's loaded. Let's be honest. From what we've seen from LSU the past couple of years, there's nothing that would indicate that I should be choosing LSU to go on the road and beat Clemson in week 1. Now, is LSU talented enough to do it? Yeah, I mean, it's probably close to a pick'em game with Clemson being at home. I'd give them the edge. But the big thing for LSU and Brian Kelly right now is proving that they can be prepared and get over the hump in that first game, especially that first marquee game.
That's the bugaboo, right? That's the opening game for how many years? Is it 4 years now they've lost the opening?
5 years and 3 years with Kelly.
Yeah.
Now, you got a lot of reasons for that, but fans don't care about reasons.
No. We don't need any reasons. Well, I feel like some of those reasons of kind of some of the slow start. I would say Kelly's done a good job at LSU, right? I think most people would be, in most places, would be happy with what Brian Kelly has done. But LSU has a different expectation. We've got 9, we've got 10 wins. but it's those early season losses, it's those inexplicable bowl game losses. People want a little bit more. So it seems like the LSU boosters, whether we call them collectives, whoever it may be, really made a concerted effort to make a change in 2025, not only in recruiting, but also in the portal. Can you talk a little bit about some of the big names and big changes that are coming in for LSU for 2025 from the portal?
Absolutely, man. And before we get to the portal, you got a lot of changes on the staff itself that I got to give Brian Kelly credit for. Starting with Austin Thomas, you get Austin Thomas, who kind of served as a GM role when those things were just beginning. And he's an expert at putting together a roster, getting organized in both the transfer portal as well as high school recruiting. And he has put together an all-star cast of, as far as the recruiting staff can go. In the past week, he's gotten back Jeff Martin from USC, who was a part of the LSU staff for Nick Saban, Les Miles, and Coach Ed Orgeron. So he's been a part of 3 different championships from New Orleans. Great to have on the recruiting staff. And you get Sam Petito from Ohio State, who's a Louisiana native, a big part of getting the number 1 safety for 26, Blaine Bradford, committed to Ohio State, and getting Devontae Smith to Alabama. And you get Kevin Bolden from Ole Miss for good measure, who was instrumental in getting the best portal class in the country last year. So now on to the players.
Wait, hang on. I'm just saying LSU has their own like general management staff. I mean, it is just absolute rock stars. And I think we were talking about Texas Tech before you came on, that they've done this, but it feels like LSU has gone, okay, who are the best in college football, and kind of aggregate that talent.
Just go and pick them too.
They have Austin Thomas. He's done a heck of a job, and all of these guys, we can't leave this out, are Louisiana natives. So that goes a long way. They can walk in any high school in the state with no hesitation. Now, I don't want to let them overshine the guys on the field too.
No, go ahead. Let them shine, baby. Let them shine.
The wide receiver from Kentucky just still gives me chills. But go ahead.
Yeah, let's start with him, man. Barry Brown, he might have been the most impressive wide receiver in the spring. I know he's had a few drops here and there, but he hasn't had the best quarterback play either. And this is a top 100 guy coming out of high school. People see him coming from Kentucky, and you think, a guy. No, this is a dude. Like, Barry Brown can play. He gives them that deep threat that they were missing for a big part of last year. You had some good receivers. You didn't have anybody that really struck fear into the defense until Chris Hilton came back from injury later on in the year. So you got Barry Brown offensively. One of the most important additions is going to be a few of the most important additions will be on the offensive line, where LSU lost 4 starters to the NFL. So Braylon Moore out of Virginia Tech is going to be huge at center, especially going against that Clemson front in the first game. And you also get Josh Thompson from Northwestern, all Big Ten guy who's going to be expected to contribute.
And not to take away from any of your stuff, but I know the Athletic put together some of like their transfer portal pieces. And I think they said not only does LSU have the number 1 transfer portal class, but they brought in the most like starters, guys who were starters either in the Power 4 or that were starters previous, and brought them into that class. So really stacked them up. So what does that do for Kelly now? Like, so one of my little teasers out on Reddit today was, is Kelly ready for the pressure? What does bringing all of this talent in there, how does Kelly, you think, respond? How does he put that together? What does Nuss have to do in order to make it all work?
Well, I think Kelly knows, like, he understands what comes with his position. He'll be the first to say that, we expect to be in the playoffs, and sometimes even more so than maybe he should, because, you don't want to add pressure to what you got going on. But it is pretty cool to see somebody embrace it. And Brian Kelly knows that he's expected to win now. He's expected to be a playoff team and maybe even a championship team. Now, you add all of that, you got everything in place. Look, expectations are going to be high this year. Expectations are going to be high, but you look past that first game, I mean, we're going to talk a lot about that coming up to week 1.
Yep.
But you lose that game, then you got no wiggle room for the rest of the year. You can only afford to lose one SEC game, and you got one of the a top 5 as far as the toughest schedules in the country.
And that was going to be my question to you, Lou, was who can afford a loss week 1? Is it Clemson or is it LSU?
It's Clemson. Hey, look, nothing against the ACC, but it's a different road. It's a different road. If LSU is fortunate enough to get by Clemson and come out with a win, you still have to go to Alabama. LSU hasn't beaten Alabama other than 2019. They haven't beaten them since 2011 in Tuscaloosa. You got South Carolina coming in with possibly the best quarterback in the country. I wish Rob was here for this. You get Florida coming in. You don't get any breaks, and I think one of the teams that people are kind of overlooking right now is Oklahoma at the end of the schedule. So LSU has a tougher road, and Dabo he's built up more equity over the years. You win a few championships. Nobody's coming for his head if he loses the first game. So I think it's going to be more pressure on LSU, and it's going to be a tougher road for LSU if they lose that first game.
We and Lou, it's okay. It's SEC Sunday night. We can take our shots. We can take slights at the ACC. It's totally fine. I do it every week in my articles, so it's totally fine. Casey will be okay. He's getting paid the big bucks to be here. So, what about Garrett Nussmeier? Garrett and Arch, I feel like we're like stepbrothers, like the two best friends at the Manning passing camp. I think he's probably, outside of that guy up in Clemson, probably one of your favorites to be the Heisman. What does Nussmeier have to do? Because I think he was good last year, but what does he have to do to take that next step? So not only he's in the Heisman conversation, but he's got LSU playing for an SEC championship and obviously playing meaningful football in December and January.
Okay, so this answer is going to have more to do with the team than Nussmeier himself. LSU has to run the ball. And look, if you're not getting 5 yards a carry, cool, it's okay. But you still have to have more balance. Last year's experience is going to be huge. I think Nussmeier is going to be fine. He's got all the tools, mentally and physically. He's got great weapons around him. But you have to have some balance, and you also have to count on this new offensive line to come together pretty quickly.
Okay. So if we're putting you on the spot then this year, I know Rob already proclaimed them SEC champions this week on Twitter, totally breaking up his spreadsheet. But what is your expectation for the Tigers this year? Is it an SEC championship? How far do they go? Do they make the playoff? How far do they go in the playoff? Let's hear it, Lou.
Okay, so as I give you this prediction, I want to acknowledge that, look, I got the right to change this before the season starts.
No, listen, we have a segment called I Was Wrong, Lou, and don't worry, we will bring you right back.
Yeah, we'll have you back.
Yeah, we'll have you back. We'll put you out. And listen, Lou was wrong, but no, it's okay. July 13th, what is your prediction, my friend?
So look, I'm going to say 10-2, but I'm going to tell you how I'm getting there because it's going to say a lot about what I think about the team.
Yep.
I'm going 10-2, playoff team, but you lose that first game. You lose that first game at Clemson. So I think you have enough talent, you have enough experience, and you have a good enough staff to get through the SEC schedule with one more loss.
Okay.
So it's some pretty lofty expectations, but I think LSU is ready.
I love it.
I like it.
I absolutely love it. 10-2. I like that. We're going through that. Again, I want to thank my good friend Lou Johnson. He is the voice of LSU for the last word on college football. He is also a primary one if we're looking at recruiting and we're looking in Louisiana. Lou, I want to thank you so much. Please give my good friend a follow, CFB Lou. Lou, I can't wait to talk to you again. Thanks again for coming on, my friend.
Thanks Lou.
Thank you. Have a great one.
Good to see you.
And when we come back, we're going to be joined by Mima, and we're going to be talking a little Alabama and the Tide when we come back on SEC Sunday night.
At TriFit Physical Therapy and Performance, we believe true health and peak performance start with personalized care. Whether you're an athlete recovering from injury or just chasing your next personal best, we're here to guide your journey. With expert coaching, hands-on therapy, and transparent cash-based pricing, you get the care you need without the insurance red tape. One client drove 100 miles just to see us and said it was worth every mile. Contact us at trifitperformance.com or 803-353-5619. TriFit Physical Therapy and Performance, where recovery meets results.
When playing sports, you want a coach that will fight for you. At Hewitt Diamaduros Law Firm, we've got your back. Whether it's personal injury, insurance disputes, negligence, or wrongful death, our team delivers exceptional legal services that makes meaningful difference in the lives of the individuals and families we work for. Visit hdlawsc.com. hdlawsc.com. Hewitt Diamaduros, we're on your team.
OTC is go.
Thank you. Go.
PTC is go.
LPS is go. Houston flight is go.
Molotov. FTM is go.
Safety com is go.
STU is go. LRD is go.
SRO is go.
CDI is go. Launch director, NTD, our launch team is ready to proceed at this time.
It's SEC Sunday Night, presented by Hewitt Diamaduros. Visit hdlawsc.com. It's go time.
Welcome back to SEC Sunday Night, and the TriFit guest line continues. We want to thank our good friend Lou Johnson for joining us, talking all things LSU. And now we have a very special guest, Miss Courtney McKinney, Casey's compadre from the Message Board Genius Cast, on to join us from Alabama. How is Justin Timberlake? How is NSYNC? Courtney, thank you so much for coming.
They're doing good. I'm doing good. How are y'all?
Great.
It's good to see you in the middle of the screen for once during a show, Courtney.
Yeah.
Rather than that right side of the screen. Yeah,
That's right.
That's great.
Glad to be here.
No problem at all. Now, we know you are you would be considered a passionate Alabama fan, so we thought there would be nobody better than you to kind of come on. So I've got to start with a good question.
Okay.
There was a great quarterback by the name of A.J. McCarron who made some noise this week, and I want to read you a quote, and it has to deal with Auburn this week.
Okay.
It says, Hugh Freeze is full of shit. I think Hugh Freeze is trying to do whatever he can to save face. He's starting to feel pressure at Auburn going into his third year, not having the success that the alumni, the boosters, everybody donating a lot of money through thought he would at this point. I think he's trying to figure out and scramble on what or why they're not successful. The state of Alabama is ran by Alabama fans, Alabama alumni, whether you like it or not.
Huh.
I think that AJ is just echoing what every other Alabama fan in the state wants to say, or not even the state, everywhere. It's true.
And he's got that platform, right? I mean, it's AJ.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like Hugh Freeze is more concerned with playing golf. I don't think he realizes,
that's the rumor for sure.
Right. Like, maybe we're supposed to be recruiting at this point and you're losing the recruits to Kentucky.
I think at one point this week, he even came out and said something about his golfing and how it's not affecting his recruiting. And it's like, that's sad that you even have to address that.
I think it was like, yeah, he did that. And then a few days before he was like, oh, look at the cool trophy that we won. It's like, you're not helping yourself.
I think the best part about it is Lane Kiffin trolling him on Twitter and tagging him in his fishing trips and stuff like that. And it's just so good. He's never going to miss an opportunity to troll somebody. And it's amazing.
He's not. Speaking of golf games, how's Kalen's golf game?
I'm not sure. We don't hear about him playing golf a lot. I don't think he's a big golfer. So that's good for us.
That is good. He's done well in the recruiting trail. He's stacking up the 5 stars. Now there's been rumors that Nick Saban is still recruiting for Alabama, or
That's what people are trying to say. But what's really funny to me is they were saying, oh, Nick Saban can't recruit in this era. That's why he quit. And now it's like Nick Saban's recruiting for Alabama. That's why they're getting all these 5 stars. It's like, what is it? Which one is it?
Can't be both.
Can't be both.
Nick would never have anything to do with it. He's complaining about the transfer portal. He's complaining about NIL. Yeah. He would never do anything. He's still got that office in Bryant-Denny, though. I'm sure he just hangs out there just to do some things.
When Miss Terry allows him to be there.
When Miss Terry allows him to be there. But so one of the recruits' mom, I don't remember who it was, but she came out and she posted on Twitter and she was like, we met Nick Saban one time and he had nothing to do with our recruiting process. And it was Christian Robinson was the one. I think that they said that had something to do with it. So it's like, he's just there for photo ops. But I mean,
it's a hell of a photo op, though, right? It's like, hey,
use it to your advantage. You have the man, the myth, the legend at your fingertips. Be like, hey, let's just go over here and let's go see Nick Saban for a minute.
Well, if they ask him, like if he happens to be in his office at Bryant-Denny and they're walking through, a parent's going to be like, hey, coach, what do you think about this? You think he's going to have a bad word to say about anything Alabama?
No.
I mean, so it's only a positive. So is he recruiting these kids? No, but is there anything better than having that guy say, oh, it's great here, I love it here, my family loves it here, we have a house here, we built a home here, whatever it is, like it's sour grapes from Auburn fans, I think.
Well, I'm sure if they didn't have to fire like their past 10 freaking coaches, then maybe they would have that too, but they don't. I mean, who are they going to get? Brian Harsin to be like, oh yeah, that place is.
No, they already used an intern to go get his vehicle out of Idaho or whatever state he was.
So good.
It is shocking though, because like when Hugh was hired by Auburn, you're like, oh, we're thinking like the old Miss Hugh, right? Like something exciting, something fun, and now he's like complaining he doesn't have any money and he doesn't have a quarterback, and you're like, dude, you had Dr. Bo as your quarterback. And you can't do anything. So I'm going to be really sad when we see Coach Freeze kind of take off. So
are we
talking Alabama or Auburn, Greg?
No,
my sheet says Alabama.
I'm getting.
It just goes hand in hand.
I'm just kidding.
All right.
If you want to troll Auburn, we have the right person, is what I'm saying.
Yes.
I'm saying, should we talk Tennessee now? Is that the better?
Their fans love me, so.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking we'd only send them flowers and we'd send them very kind regards. All right. So my question for looking back at season 1 post Saban, where do you go from this? So again, I'm a Georgia fan, and it was absolutely embarrassing whatever happened in Tuscaloosa there. I have no idea, like whatever the positivity was.
It's okay. I don't remember the first half anyway. I was.
See, well, you didn't miss much.
They left a grill at the tailgate. I mean, it was crazy stuff going on.
I didn't leave a grill. John left a grill.
I've got to come down for a tailgate then, apparently.
You do. It's so much fun.
Yeah. No, I
I'm
definitely
thinking about going to Athens this year, so.
You should. I think, listen, I think that party's going to be rocking.
Yeah.
My only hope is Georgia doesn't wear black, because we all know that they just be.
Ooh, that would be good for us, for sure.
Listen, I think whenever we play, it's good for Alabama. So
we are going to be kryptonite for sure.
You are.
We're just going 7-5 anyway, so it's fine.
That's it. 7-5.
You guys are Texas's kryptonite, so.
Yeah, it's kind of like like that weird circle of weirdness. So
yeah.
What was your thoughts, like kind of like year one, kind of like reflecting back? Was it kind of like what the hell, or like where were you at?
No, I mean, it wasn't what the hell. I mean, of course it was disappointing, but you, as a fan, you always want your team to do the best that they can. And as an Alabama fan, that's been at the top for so many years. And now we're not. I mean, we are kind of still, but I just kind of came to terms with it. Like, okay, look, like it's not going to be the best year. You got to go back and look. Like Saban lost to Louisiana Monroe his first year. I mean, Vanderbilt wasn't as bad as Louisiana Monroe, so that's a plus. It wasn't as bad.
Oklahoma might have been.
Oklahoma was bad, but at that point in the season, I mean, you were just kind of like, oh well,
But you look at that one, like again, like Tennessee okay, sure. You know what? That
Right.
is what it was. Vanderbilt, sure, give them some flowers. The Oklahoma one to me was the one that was like inexplicable. It's like how does that happen? Like you just don't show up for that.
Like, how many miles did we travel to not even get a touchdown, to kick a field goal?
And,
I mean,
and that was the wildest thing to me, is because when Jalen Milroe was feeling it, when he was like to me, like he was the Alabama offense. His body language,
Yeah.
the smile, the hype, everything like that. And again, as a Georgia fan, how do you only hold Alabama to 3 points? I'm not sure how that happens.
Right?
Let alone contain Jalen Milroe. That just doesn't happen.
Well, I mean,
Brent.
you're right. Whenever he was on his game, I mean, we were unstoppable. I mean, that showed during LSU too. I mean, he just balled out during LSU. But I mean, that Oklahoma game, that will haunt me.
Clean slate, 2025.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that we're going to be a lot better this year. I think that.
What does a lot better look like for you? That was my question.
I think we're going to make the playoff. I think I'm saying that we're going to lose probably one game. Is it going to be a game that we shouldn't lose like it was last year? I don't think so. I think it's going to be, a good matchup that we lose.
In Athens.
I am thinking, and this call me crazy, and I saw that you.
I would never call you crazy. I see how you respond to people, especially with Tennessee fans. I would never do that to you.
But I mean, and you can have me back if my take is wrong. But I think that we're going to snap you guys' home game streak, and I think that we're going to win. I really do. I think if we lose a game, I think it may be at home to LSU or maybe Auburn, because we go to Auburn. And I'm not even saying Auburn's going to be good. I'm saying that Auburn's probably going to lose at least 5 games.
Well, that place is crazy, though.
But that place, it is haunted. It is built on an Indian burial ground. I don't know, but you just never know what's going to happen there. So, but I definitely think we get in the playoffs. I don't think that we let Vandy beat us at home.
I hope not, because Pavia will be like insufferable at that point. I feel like Vanderbilt's got like 3 wins in them this year and be like, all right, that was cute what you did in 2024. Yeah. Now go back to the cellar.
Yeah.
So you bring up a good point when you talk about success, and this kind of ties in with the playoff. You talk about, hey, success this year is we're making the playoff. For so long in the SEC, the standard has been you're winning an SEC championship. You're playing for that SEC championship. Do you think the conversation now has changed? Has making it to Atlanta diminished? Is it no longer the goal, or has it lost some of its valor and its luster?
I don't know if it has, but I think that started probably when Alabama started getting in without even making the SEC championship, when it was 4 teams. I think that we do make the SEC championship this year. I think that Texas probably makes the SEC championship this year too, which is going to be absolutely terrible for my relationship. I probably won't have a boyfriend after that, but
I'll get you an Arch Manning shirt. It'll be okay.
Ooh, no, I already said I wasn't going to wear orange. I already did say that.
But it is interesting how that conversation has changed, because again, I think that is one thing that has separated the SEC from even the Big Ten, the ACC, the Big 12, is that game is important. I was there in 2018 when Jalen came off the bench and we couldn't execute a fake field goal. Thank you, Justin Fields, by the way. But still, like that atmosphere is special. Making that game is special. And again, this is why I'm hoping when the playoff expands to 16, we go to a 5+11. That championship still matters, because it still matters here. So,
and I think you are right, though. I think that it has lost some luster, just because wasn't it Texas and Georgia last year? And
yeah, it was.
I mean,
Carson Beck came in on one arm and gloriously handed the ball off, and then he went to Miami and never heard from him again.
He did, and then he cheated on his girlfriend. So good for him.
Oh, that's Casey's like, he did what? I'm going to have to write a story about
what?
What?
Horror.
would never.
He is a 3-time Genius of the Week winner on our show. So.
Yeah.
He is. You guys have a phenomenal show. And Courtney, let me tell you, you have you're fantastic on the MBG podcast. You try to keep Casey and Who's straight, and MBG. You try to bring some levity, saying, "Come on, MBG, you've got to like something beyond Diet Coke." But
He
you
doesn't.
do it.
She brings the SEC flavor to our show.
She does.
I try.
She definitely carries the flag. You do a phenomenal job on Twitter, giving so much praise to our friends in Tennessee and everything like that. And
They love me.
Let's
I'm
cut
your
down on the toaster baths this year, okay?
Yeah,
no toaster baths.
no-
I'm
no
rooting for
toaster.
no toaster baths.
Guys, we have moved up. My toaster has its own Twitter now. I saw that the other day. So
is it verified? Does it get verified? Did they
it's not verified yet, but I hope they're working on it.
Right, they're gonna send it to like the manufacturer. They got to send in like the warranty or whatever.
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
It is fantastic. I want to know who runs it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna work on us getting down to Athens for the Alabama game. You'll show me how to tailgate. Maybe we'll just forget the game entirely and we'll just pretend, hey, both teams won, and we'll see.
There's great
Yay.
bars in Athens. Athens is a great town.
I've never been.
Oh, it's a great town.
I've heard it's so much fun.
Great
Don't
food
tell
scene as
people.
well.
Don't tell our Georgia fan friends I said that. Athens is fantastic.
Yeah.
They're
I've
all
heard.
listening, Casey. They're gonna have
Don't-
to switch.
This goes no further than us three and whoever.
That's
else.
it. That's it. No one else
Just
is
us three
watching, so it's
talking to each
it's
other.
perfect.
But
Thankfully,
it's fun to go to a game in Auburn.
Yeah. No, it is. It is.
I had a
is
blast
fun.
there too. Yeah.
I mean, it's very hostile when we're
I
there.
got kicked out of the stadium, but that's a story for another. Oh, look at the time.
Oh, we've just extended it. We've got a new sponsor coming in. Charmin, brought to you by Tumor. They have that.
Their county over there.
Courtney, I want to thank you for coming on SEC Sunday Night. This has been an absolute blast. We for surely have you on.
Absolutely.
Whether it's Georgia's funeral or somehow they beat, I don't know, maybe Keely Ringo will come back and they somehow find a way to win.
Or Tennessee's funeral. Anytime that they have a funeral, even if it's not with my team, I'll be a part of it.
Fantastic. Courtney,
Just
thank you
invite
so
him.
much for joining us. Hope you have a wonderful evening. Enjoy your
Thanks,
Sunday.
y'all too.
Thank you, friend.
Oh, that was so enjoyable. That was so good.
She's fun. She's a lot of fun. She's great to work with on our show. She just brings some knowledge and fun. I mean, literally, I don't have another word for it.
So maybe for those SEC folks who might be new to the Message Board Genius show, give us a little taste, like in your words as the producer and as the man. Tell us a little bit about what can we expect when we tune in every Thursday besides great questions from someone like me.
You do get in quite often. I don't know how that happens, but
Funny.
our call screeners are sleeping on the job. No, it's just a lot of fun. We take usually the 5 best or what we deem as the 5 best message board posts from across the country. One of our best, and I think some point we're going to do a Hall of Fame. One of our absolute best comes from the University of Pittsburgh, which you would never really equate with college football, even really, but other than Pat Narduzzi. But we take 5, usually with a really, really fortunate guest and a great guest in the college football world, and we discuss it with them and really just have a lot of laughs. And you have me and he's a University of Virginia fan and an alum, double time alum. You have MBG, who runs the Board Geniuses podcast or the Board Geniuses Twitter page, who is the brains behind the whole thing. And I say that not loosely because I'm not the brains behind the whole thing. And then, like you said, Courtney brings that levity. MBG's a Utah State alum. Don't tell people, though, because he gets confused as a South Carolina alum. He gets confused as a Southern Cal alum, an Oklahoma alum. But he's just a Utah State alum. And then Courtney, our resident SEC person, who does bring us some levity because you have 3 guys' voices and then you have a great voice in Courtney who's really funny and really, really funny and adds a lot to the show. So we have a lot of fun, and thanks for giving me that 4 seconds to boost it. And I mean, it's just what we're trying to do really is make the Twitter page a podcast.
Yeah, no, and I think you guys do a phenomenal job. Not only is MBG do a great job with the site, and it's like, I don't think people are in on the joke, but hey, that's okay. That's what makes college football fun.
That's the best part. on Twitter when someone's like, "Oh, this guy doesn't even know what he's talking about," and MBG responds usually with a meme like, "What?" Or, he's fantastic. But yeah, we don't take ourselves too seriously, and we have fun in the college sports world.
Yeah, no, and to be honest, when you're following all four of you guys, it's like you're literally in on that conversation every Thursday. So if you have not done so already, check out Casey and everybody at the Message Board Genius podcast. This week, check out our friends over at Last Word on College Football. As I said, Rob and I are doing a preview of all 4 days. Rob's day 1 preview came out this evening at 5 East, 4 Central. He looked at day 1 from Brian Kelly, Lane Kiffin, Shane Beamer, Clark Lee. I've got a piece coming out for tomorrow on day 2. We'll be poking fun at Coach Freeze, looking at his golf game. Also going to be looking at Georgia and Texas. I think those two have the highest expectations. One of the big questions I would have if I had a chance to sit down with Kirby Smart, I'd say, hey, did you miss your window? You had that opportunity to take the throne from Nick Saban when he retired at Alabama. Did Texas take it? And of course, the question would be for Sark, is Arch really the chosen one? And have that fun. So take a look at that. We'll make sure to tweet that out, put that in the show notes as well as we go forward. But now we have to go to our last word as we wrap up our show tonight. Connor Stalions, America's favorite advanced analytics scout, was back on the Twitter. And he came out this week and he said, Michigan had almost every signal in their 21 season, including their semifinal Orange Bowl loss to Georgia. He knew the formations, he knew their pass protections, and the Wolverines still lost 34-11. Casey, is that a flex from Mr. Stalions, or what? Maybe put down the phone. What is your recommendation to Connor?
Yeah, I think, you always hear about these people, one-hit wonders in music and 15 minutes of fame of people. Like, they just are scratching and clawing to kind of keep that 15 minutes to turn it into 16 or 18 minutes of fame. Like, that's what it feels like. This is like a cry out. We're over it. I'm over it. I can't say we're over it. I'm over it already. It went through courts, and Sharon Wright is suspended, and Stallions is coaching high school football in Michigan somewhere. Like, it's over. Like Matthew Broderick says in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, it's over. Go home. We're done here. That's how I feel about Connor Stalions anytime he tweets anything. It's like he's trying to get in the news.
I think there's something to that, and I think there's a piece there where, I get it. He bleeds blue. He bleeds maize and blue, and I know he's very passionate about it. But if his path is to get back into college football, it's better to just kind of be quiet, go back into the shadows, and work your way back up. We have seen stories come back. I mean, case in point, Hugh Freeze. When Hugh Freeze left Ole Miss, we didn't think Hugh Freeze was ever going to coach again. Hugh Freeze slowly worked his way back up. He is now once again in the SEC. He's at Auburn. This happens. So, it's just something kind of shocking, but it's like, again, it sounds like it's a flex. Hey, we had all of your calls, but bro, why'd you only score 11?
If you're good in college football, if you're a good coach, fans will forgive you. I mean,
they will.
You said it with you. They'll forgive you.
They'll have it. Well, my friend, it's been about an hour. I think we did all right. My phone looks like it's blowing up. Rob has had many questions. He doesn't understand what's happening. So, Rob, we miss you, but we can't wait to see you next week. We're looking forward to SEC Media Days. Thank you all for joining us tonight. For my good friend Casey Cregan, I am Greg McMichael. Have a great evening. This is SEC Sunday Night.